strong.
Hi, welcome to tonight's show. It has been the Youth Desk show where we focus on relationship issues. For now, our attention has been on what you need to do before you get closer to relationship. Things that you must do to prepare you for relationships. That is what we'll be focusing on for all this while. And for tonight, we'll be looking at the discipline of hard work. The discipline of hard work. Actually, marriage is at the helm of hard work. Hard work. Anybody who cannot work hard should not get closer to relationship, let alone marriage. Because marriage is hard work from the word go. Throughout 30 years, 40 years, 50 years in a marriage, and so on. Hard work. First of all, somebody who exerts himself, herself, physically, mentally, in a sustained effort towards attainment of a purpose or a goal, we say the person is working. So, when you exert yourself physically and mentally in a sustained effort towards the attainment of a goal or a purpose, then you are working. Physically, you exert yourself, you put yourself to work physically. Then mentally, you put yourself to work, you sit down and think. And the thinking that you are doing it in sustained effort. Not once, not twice, not thrice. Continuously. So that a certain goal or a certain purpose be achieved is what we are calling that you are working. So you see that? Work. Then you add hard to it. That should give you an idea of what we're talking about. And we are saying that marriage is at the realm of hard work. Some people say it is not a bed of roses. I can assure you it isn't. Yes, it has its fine moments interlaced with difficulties. And those difficulties, I beg your pardon, have their purposes. We'll get there. So hard work, continued hard work, towards the end, hard work. Okay? All right? So, now the next thing that I need you to know is that the hard work that you are going to do in the marriage later, about 70 to 85% of the result of the hard work you are going to put in, the result of that is not going to benefit you. That is the irony of it. And very soon, we'll be getting into the details of that. You are expected to work hard, to exert yourself physically, mentally, in a sustained effort in order to achieve a purpose or a goal. And the result of that hard work, most of the time, will not benefit you directly. And so it is something that is very important that I need you to know. The hard work is important, very important. Young woman, you need to know how to work hard. Young man, you must learn to work hard. Very important. Then the next thing that I need you to will be looking at is the areas that you will be needing to work hard. Areas that will require you to work hard and produce certain results. And it's very important for you to know them. Now, number one thing that I'll be talking about is providing for the home. When you are married, first of all, you are supposed to provide accommodation for the family. You are going to pay electricity bills. You are going to pay water bills. Of course, the waste that the family will generate for it to be disposed, you're going to pay for it. Then you will have a building project. You want to build a house for the family. All these things are need of the home, which you, as a couple, young lady, young man, you will be required to work hard and meet all these 5 needs and over I've just spoken about. Of course, if you are not in your own house, it means you are going to rent. Rent, you are going to pay it on monthly basis. Monthly basis. And of course, if you are living in a single room, you can marry and go and put your wife and yourself in a single room. When children start coming in, then you understand what I mean by that. So perhaps a chamber and a hall in Ghana and most of the time in West Africa, yes. But elsewhere, probably an apartment. The children's bedroom must be different from the husband and wife's bedroom. We know all this. And the resource that will be needed for that need of accommodation to be met is enormous. It's only hard work that can give you that resource. And once the accommodation is provided, you are going to pay electricity bill, water bill. It will be coming at the end of every month. In some jurisdiction, it is part of the rent that you pay. So when you pay the rent, the electricity bill and the water bill and that of telecommunication, landline, and the internet services are all part of the bill that you pay in some jurisdictions. But in our part of Africa, they are not together. They are not put together. They are separated. So you pay for accommodation separately, you pay your water bill separately, you pay your electricity bill also separately. As of now, those of us in Ghana, we know where our electricity bill is heading towards. As soon as you are using a fridge and probably 2 fans, you are paying not less than 200 cedis a month. So it should give you an idea. It should give you an idea. That's number one, providing for the home. For you to provide for the home, you're going to provide for accommodation, you need to provide for electricity or utility, the disposal of waste, then your building project. You need to acquire a land, and then you need to start buying the building materials and bit by bit. All these needs for the home, you've got to meet them. And to take resources. To be able to generate resources, you will need to work hard. So you can imagine, here is a young lady, here is a young man who does not know how to work hard. The person doesn't train himself or herself in working hard to generating these resources. When a person gets close to a relationship, what is going to happen? And the relationship, they are married. How are they going to manage? That's number one. Number two, as soon as children start setting in, your wife has taken seed or you have taken seed, and after 9 months you put to bed, by the grace of God, you are healthy, the baby is also healthy. Then you must start making provision also for the children. Provisions like food, like clothing. You need to pay fees, and the paying of fees, not fees alone. You are going to buy uniform, you are going to buy books, and then the trend also in Ghana, I don't know about the rest of the West African sub-region or Africa in general, but in Ghana, the trend now is that for the basic school, especially for lower from KG through to primary 6, even JHS now, there's something that is coming up where the school is feeding children. So you are not only providing for fees, you are not only providing for stationery and uniform, you are also providing for the feeding of the children in school. So if you have a child or 2 or 3 in school, you can imagine Then the children, Medicare. Once in a while, they might not be doing well, they will need to go to hospital. It is your responsibility as a husband, as a wife, to ensure that the children are catered for medically. And like I said, where will you find resources from to meet these needs? It is only hard work. Hard work that can give you all this. Then, number 3, you need to provide for your spouse. As a wife, you need to provide for your husband. As a husband, you need to provide for your wife. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, she's working so she can provide for herself. After all, her salary is more than mine. No. I once heard Eastwood Anamba, one of the revered Reverend ministers in Ghana, from Bolga, and he once said he feels good if they are going out, he and the wife are going out, and then the wife is wearing a dress that he has bought for the wife, or a watch, or a necklace, or a shoe. He feels proud of himself that, yeah, I'm taking care of my wife. Yes. So it doesn't matter whether she's any more than you, the husband. No, it doesn't matter at all. Make the effort. And let me tell you something. Most of the time, when husbands take time and surprise their wives like that, oh, they've bought her this item and that item, and the wife wants to replicate the same thing. The wife wants to do the same thing towards the husband. Usually they do twice. That's why our elders, those of us in the faith, most of our older pastors, they will tell you that whatever you give to a wife, she doubles it and give it back to you. So you give her money, she will not give you money in return. She will give you food and lie. So it's like that. Whatever you give to a wife, she doubles it and gives it back to you. So yes, you must provide for each other. Wife also, when she goes out there, sees a nice shoe, buys it. Honey, this is for you. How will she be able to do that if she doesn't have the resources to so do? To be able to get the resource to provide her food, because once in a while you want to take your wife out. Enough, honey, it's enough. You have been cooking for all this while. Please, can we? So you stepped out there to a nice place, and then for you to buy her the food or ask her to order for what she wants, the resources to do that is definitely going to be as a result of hard work. Yeah. Then clothing, the clothes you will wear, of course, the shelter, the accommodation again, then her health matters, Medicare. And sometimes some of her family members will require certain attention in doing certain things. You don't leave it to her that, or you don't leave it to him that, since they are not coming from your side, definitely for that matter, you will leave him or her to attend to her own issues or his own issues. No, you assist. For example, your mother-in-law is not doing well. Would you say that, well, it's my wife's mother, so she should go and handle her matter? Okay? Oh, honey, please, take this amount of money. Could you please rush to go and say how your mother is doing and let me know how it is? Can we imagine when she returns, how she'll be so happy that when you heard that her mother, your mother-in-law is not doing well, you assisted. I'm not talking about ungrateful people. That's not what I'm talking about. Ungrateful people, they are there. We'll come to such challenges later. How to handle them. We'll come to that portion of the discussion. So yes, you need to provide her food. You need to provide her clothing. You need to provide her shelter. You need to provide her Medicare. You need to assist her in taking care of her other family members' needs. That's number 3. Number 4. Then you must provide for yourself. Out of the 4 items I've mentioned so far, yourself comes only one. Your personal development. As a husband, you must develop. As a wife, you must develop. As a husband, you might want to take a course that probably would increase your income or would advance you towards a promotion that you are looking for, or towards a starting of another business, okay, or towards the securing of another better paying job. Personal development. Wife, also same. You must put resources into yourself to develop. Then you have your personal project that you want to undertake. That one too will require resources to do. Again, the question comes, if you don't have the resources, the money, how would you be able to invest in yourself? How will you be able to provide for yourself? How will you be able to buy your own clothes? How would you be able to do petty things for yourself? The project that you have been dreaming of, how would you be able to? Yeah. How? One of my very, very important mothers that I so much appreciate and love has a dream of setting out a fashion school. And that dream, it took her 15 plus years for the dream to materialize. And it has come to pass. Now the fashion school is fully operational. Personal project. Year on, the preparation she's been putting in, because I've been involved, so I know about it. And finally, she pulled it off. So, personal development. She has to put herself back to school so that she can serve more. As you speak, she's doing the master's program now. It's amazing. So, personal development. Again, if you don't have the resources, my brother, my sister, how will you be able to develop yourself? How will you be able to go back to school? How will you be able to save in order to start that project? These are key things that is requiring that you need to learn how to work hard. Hard. I mean by that. Now, all the things that I've spoken about right now, as I have said, they all need resources. Much resources. Very much resources to be able to accomplish. To provide for the home, to provide for your children, to provide for each other as husband or as wife, then to provide for yourself. They require money. Money. And for that matter, it's just hard work. That's why I said the responsibilities that are in marriage, they are so much that if you're not someone who is ready to work hard, forget about it. And because of some of this responsibility, the discharge of some of these responsibilities, most of the time, one party feels the other one is not contributing enough. And before long, it tends to a heated, deep-seated disagreement. Year on, year 1, year 2, year 3. After a while, both felt that they are no longer compatible. You see the word? That word I referred to it some time back. They are no longer compatible. The challenge in the home is not about compatibility problem. It's simply that both have not recognized that they need to work hard enough. Sit down and tell each other that when we have gotten to the resources that the family needs, what we are providing is not enough. What do we do? That's where the thinking comes in. What do we do? And both of them will agree that, okay, let's do it this way, let's do it that way, let's do it that way. Okay, let's look at the family expenditure again. Is there anything that we can cut off? Is there anything that we can let go and the family will still be okay? They look at that, they do all those realignments, and then, okay, we need an extra investment or we need an extra cash from somewhere. Can we put this together? Do all this necessary thinking and put themselves to it physically in a sustained effort. Before long, much inflows will start, resources will start coming in. Again, that is why some say it isn't a bed of roses. So it is obvious from what I've said so far that in order to meet the needs of the home, both husband and wife, in our case right now, the young man or the young lady who is aspiring to get closer to the relationship and that will end into marriage, would know or should know by now that one source of income is woefully inadequate. One source of income. Let me cite an example. How many in our Ghanaian society is being paid around 3,000 every month? Yeah? Ask yourself, how many of us are paid 3,000? Your take-home pay, I'm not talking about your gross. Your take-home pay is around 3,000 cedis. Yeah. Then out of that 3,000, you are supposed to pay school fees. As soon as your take-home pay is around 3,000, your child is definitely going to be in a private school. That's one I can assure you. And in a private school, you'll not be paying the school fees that you'll be paying for that child, assuming it's only one, will not be less than 1,000 Ghana. Right? Okay. So long as your pay is around 3,000, you are likely, if you don't choose at all, if you are very economical, then you are going to be in a chamber hall accommodation. And currently, you'll be paying around 500, 550, 600 cedis a month, plus the 1,000 that you are paying for your child. So you are heading towards 2,000, right? Your electricity bill, as I said earlier on, will not be less than 200 cedis. Okay, so let's just say that's around 1,008. Then your water bill at the end of the month, you should be paying around, let's say around 100 cedis, around that. So 1,009. Then food. How much of the 3,000 will be left? Your transportation up and down is not part. Then how your upkeep as a person, the person who is bringing the money hasn't come in, you have not provided for your spouse yet. How much of that 3,000 is left? And I can bet my last CD on this. The majority of us Ghanaians are taking less than 2,500 cedis a month. And basically, most of us, more than 60% of us in that category, are family people. So by the time the month ends, we are heading towards the closure of the second week of the new month. Every money that we have is gone. So the cycle starts. I have to go and borrow. It is clear, my friends, that one source of income cannot meet all the needs that I've outlined earlier. It can't. If your spouse is bringing in some, still the pressure will be there. So, simply put, you will need other sources of income. Other sources of income. And here, I'll recommend our other videos on the same platform for you. Tech Talk. Watch them. Those videos will give you step by step of how to manage your money, how to generate passive incomes and more incomes for yourself, the things that you can do. That show will teach you a lot. And because of the provision of that videos that are there already, I will not go into detail of how to make the money. All I'm saying is that as a young man, you must know that where you are heading to in your relationship, as a young lady, where you are heading towards a blissful marriage, you must know that it is an environment of serious responsibilities. Serious responsibilities that will require you to use much money. Yes, if not, you will not even be 50 years before your hair will be gray. Because you have thought, but So let's look at that. Again, in order to provide these resources, like we said earlier on, thinking is required. Lots of it is needed. Remember, you are working. It's not every of the hard work that will end up in bringing you much resources. We must know that. So the thing that you are doing, which you are working hard on, you are breaking your back on to generate the resources, is very important. What is it? I said the Tech Talk, which is another video on this same channel, will give you all those infos. Please go watch them. The next thing that I'm talking about is, in order to work hard to bring in the necessary resources to meet all the needs that will be required in the marriage, you also need thinking. The thinking that you would do would have to be how to manage your meager resources that you have for now. Don't forget, some people say, we will pray, we will pray, we will pray, we will pray. Yes, prayer is good. I will come there later. Prayer is good. There are certain things that prayer will not do for you. There are certain things that prayer can do for you. How many poor Christians haven't we seen? Does it mean they don't pray? Yes, they do. But they are still poor, because making wealth actually is in the realm of knowledge. It's not in the realm of spiritual. Yeah. So you must develop the wisdom that creates the wealth. That one, you have to study it. If you don't study it, forget about it. Again, I heard one great man of God, currently is late, Dr. Myles Munroe. He says, if you are praying and asking God for something, God will only give you what He knows you can manage. Every other things that goes beyond your ability to manage, He won't give it to you. So if it is only 2,000 that you can manage and manage well, He will give that to you. He won't give you beyond that. So thinking, you've got to think of how to manage your meager resources. Yeah? Then number 2, you've got to think of how to generate more resources. Because like I said, as where you are right now, the resources that you have, you believe is okay. But when you are married, when you are married, the expenses that you are making now, you think that you are 2. So naturally, you are inclined to thinking that it will be times 2 of the resources that you are using now. But it's not true. It is usually times 3. It's usually times 3. So if you are spending 100 cedis now, and then you are married, you think that, okay, I'm alone. Now that we are 2, it's going to be times 2 of my expenditure, which is 100 cedis. So 100 cedis times 2 is 200 cedis. But no, you'll be needing 300 cedis. And before long, you get to realize that the 300 cedis is woefully adequate, because every year your rent will increase. You see that? So you've got to think again how to balance yourself. And again, here, a lot of us make this mistake, because we are out there making money. We forget about other duties of the family. So you see a home where the husband is out there. This week he's gone to that place, stay away for a week. Next week when he returns, stay for about a day. The next day he's gone for another 2 weeks. They are moving up and down, trying to create wealth for the family. By so doing, by the time they realize their children are becoming something else. How to balance yourself as a wife, as a career woman. How do you balance yourself between your career, your husband, and your children and the home? How do you balance it? Thinking is hard work. Then the fourth one is how to train your children. Thinking. There's a scripture in Ecclesiastes. It says, "Now that our daughter is of age, what shall we do for her so that when she grows, it will be okay with her?" This is husband and wife. They woke up early at dawn and they were telling themselves, now our daughter is coming of age. What do we do for her so that when she grows, it will be better for her? Thinking. So, folks, hard work is very crucial. Young lady, the guy that you are seeing and you feel if you are married to him or you enter into a relationship that leads into marriage with him, the question I need you to ask yourself is this: is that guy hard working? Young man, the lady that you are actually thinking that is going to partner you in a relationship towards into marriage, the question that I need you to ask yourself is this: is the lady hard working? A friend of mine once told me that he will not marry a woman that is not working, gainfully employed. Yeah, justifiably so. I understood him. To an extent, yes, he was right. But to an extent, to a larger extent, I disagree with him. Because not every one of us is born in an environment of advantage. Some will have opportunity of going to school, go to university, do their first degree, second degree, and they are gainfully employed at the end of the day. If you happen to marry such, praise the Lord. I'm happy for you. But what about if you married a woman that doesn't have that opportunity of going to school? I am saying, when that woman is hardworking, you don't have any problem. All you need to do is set her up, find money, set her up, encourage her, assist her. Then you are good to go. I know a man whom the wife sells porridge in the evening. So when he comes back from work, by the time he's back from work and it's about bathing and taking his dinner, the wife is already setting up the selling of the porridge. And when he is done, then he joins the wife at the porridge joint. Then both of them will be most of the time, he is the one that dishes out the porridge and the wife will be adding the other attachment before dispatch. You can imagine. First joint, second joint, and it's going. It's going. A very good friend of mine, a hairdresser, now is no longer in the country. The time that I met her, oh goodness, a woman like that, all the husband needs is find money and set her up. Open an account for her, let her be putting some money aside, and then from time to time you find money and invest into the business for her, bit by bit. Within some few years' time, a business is developed for the family. Hard work. Please, young man, young lady, ask those very important questions yourselves. Because if you don't, you put in your heart and you say, oh, I love him, I love her, you get married to her. 1 year, 2 years, after a while, it will not be long before the resources that you are spending for the family needs will no longer going to be enough. And when we get there, the reality will set in. And the challenges that will confront the two of you, I'm not sure you will be able to handle it. So please ask yourself these very key questions Is she hardworking? Is he hardworking? Then you are good to go. The last story that I will leave with you before we bring the curtain down on tonight's show is this. One lady went to the pastor and told him that he has seen a guy that he wants to marry. That, as usual, the pastor, being a man of God and knows what the responsibilities of the family is or are, said, "Is he working?" He said, "Yes, he's completed his first degree, but where he was working at, the job, something happened, and so he's no longer working now. So he's at home now." Oh, okay, all right. Then the pastor said, "That marriage has to wait, please." And the lady said, "Why, pastor?" And he said, "Okay, currently he's not doing anything." And he said, "No." "You are working?" He said, "Yes." "Why don't we find something for him to do first?" And the lady said, "Okay, it's a good idea." And then she asked the pastor, "What do we do?" The pastor said, "Let him go back to school." Fortunately for the guy, from the first work that he was doing, he has a car. Then the lady came back and told the young man that this is what she would love him to do, to go back to school. And I said, "Okay, but I don't have the money." And the lady said, "Okay, let's see how it goes." So the lady went back to the pastor and told the pastor this, that my guy said he didn't have the money to pay for the school. And the pastor said, "That's fine, but didn't he have a car? Let him sell the car, so that he can use the proceeds of the car to pay for the education that he needed, to the masters that he needed to go and do." She came back and told the young man this. The young man said, "Okay, no, why didn't it occur to me?" So he sold his car and used the proceeds of the car and went back to school to go and proceed masters. In the process, now the lady also had a car, so they were driving both cars up and down, and the guy completed the school, now got a job that is well paid now. And after that, the lady went back to the pastor, and after a few preparation, they got married. Now, the job that the young man has, because of the second degree that he went for, it exposed him to several opportunities of raking in more revenue, more income. And because of that, he and the wife, came together, raised resources, and put into other ventures. It wasn't long. The financial needs of the home is okay. Look, folks, if the lady or the guy that you have seen and you want to enter into a relationship with him that leads to marriage isn't hardworking, I will encourage you, it's not worth it. Either you find a way to assist him or her to become hardworking, before you enter the relationship, or you abandon it quietly and move away. Because, like I said, the responsibilities, the need of a family, they are enormous, requiring lots of financial resources, lots of mental resources, lot of thinking for the marriage to work. And without hard working, there is no way anything is going to work for you. And so, viewers, this is how we bring the curtain down on tonight's show. Don't forget, like, share, write to us. Our email address is behind the screen. Write to us. Let us know how these videos are assisting you make right choices. Let us know how the video is educating you. If you have any question that you want us to address, like I've been saying, write them to us. At the appropriate time, we'll take time and respond to them. Again, like I said earlier on, in one of the shows sometime back, a time will come very soon we're going to put a panel together where your concerns, the letters that you are writing to us, we're going to take time and address the concerns one after the other, so that together with you, we'll be able to fashion out a way out of the challenges that you are encountering in your relationship. Take care of yourself, make good decisions for yourself, and have a good night. Bye-bye. Be strong.